Good morning. Looks like my screen is frozen. Now maybe that sounds better. So got two in here. Woohoo! We're cooking with grease now. Gotta get everything set up. I hate not being able to do StreamYard all the time. Get so used to doing it. Yeah, I had y'all know I drive a school bus, and when I got up this morning, like a lot of guys, I just run around in what I slept in till I get through the shower. And so my boss called from school and said, "Can we FaceTime?" It's always when you're running around in not presentable stuff, huh? And anyway, I had to put them on hold, put on some clothes and a cap and all that good stuff to get by until I got through the shower. So I'm running late. Time I got ready and got my coffee fixed, it was lunchtime. So it's always a good time to drink coffee meant to be RV, and you just got to get you another cup. There comes. See, I get delayed there. Okay, y'all are saying hi to. Oh, I see her now. Uncle Lisa's production. I see it now. We had a good night last night on the live. Didn't many people show up, but we had fun. We ran to 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 our time, and we had a blast. And Bob at Blue Wave, he was blown away at how good the Lack family was. I didn't knew how good they was. But I think he's going to help them some too, so maybe they'll get to rolling. If y'all missed that whole hour and a half was about them, so y'all could go back and watch last night's live. It'll blow you away. It was good. Their internet connection wasn't good to start with. Well, it really wasn't good all night, but between reading through the lines of what they were saying, we was able to understand most of it. Yeah, what I was trying to do meant to be RVing, and I don't know why it didn't work. I was trying to lead in with one of their videos, and when I did that, the sound didn't work. I had to come in, stop it, it sort of ruined the effect, but oh well, it worked. So after the live stream last night, I went over to Imagine Your Odyssey. Good morning, Burning Up the Roads. So I went over to Imagine Your Odyssey, and I was on his, so we were on the laptop, and so I was using my mic, and I had pushed it away and said something, and Imagine Your Odyssey said, "Hey, push that mic away again," said, "I don't think your mic's working." And the mic wasn't working at all during the whole show last night. My laptop was picking up, overriding the mic. Anyway, we got it to working, but it's real low volume. I can't use it today. I have to use Prism, and I still think my screen is crooked. Maybe that's better. So woke up when the stream ended. Yep. So anyway, I think it went good. They're a good group, and they're really talented. And I think you're going to see them around a lot before the next few weeks is up. But if anybody missed that, it's that whole hour and a half was about them. So. Music was awesome. And they're all talented. It's crazy how talented they are. And it don't matter. I went back on their channel last night and watched a few more of their videos. They can do some, like classic rock songs. They can do that too. And I don't know. I just don't know of any song that they couldn't do. They played so good last night. It was amazing. It was amazing. But, so what have you guys been into? How many we got in here? 6. I hate that I can't use my laptop. That drives me crazy. I can use it on the chat, and I can watch the video, but it's delayed here, so. Bob, for those who wasn't there, Bob was typing in all capital letters, wow, and all that kind of stuff. And he finally he said, I'm not in AutoCAD. He said, I'm really screaming how amazing these people are. Usually if he's working and streaming on the live stream, he typed all capitals because he has to cap lock his AutoCAD. Hey everybody. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Lily Beth, yeah. Anyway, we're just sitting here talking about coffee. And we don't mind for people looking for subscribers, but you can't talk about it at all in the chat in any form or fashion. So, but you're welcome to hang out. We're just drinking coffee and just chatting. So, but well, here comes Jerry Holly sliding in. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with my mic, Jerry. I got to figure out a way of turning the volume up or another way of connecting it. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with the mic. I think there's just some way wrong with the way it's connected. Or that or my laptop. The software inside my laptop might not work good with it. I don't know. It actually works. And actually, after I got off last night, I got it to doing better. You got to definitely take off the phone piece. But I don't know how loud that was. He said it wasn't loud. Imagine Your Odyssey said he could hear it, and it was clear, and it was plain, and it was good. He said it just wasn't that loud. I don't know what that means, so. But yeah. It's gotten cold here. We went through 3 days of 80-degree weather. And now we woke up to frost and 40 degrees. So, on the live stream last night, Jerry, the laptop was overriding the microphone. So, I don't know. Even down to what Imagine Your Odyssey said, that tapping on it, you should be able to tap on it and it set it off. You can't, but you can blow in. No. So we had snow, then we didn't, then we did, but then we didn't again, and now we got snow again. One day here, the week I made the snow cream video, that day we made snow cream, it snowed like crazy. I mean big snow. And we had probably 3 inches on the ground in 2 hours. And then 2 hours later, the sun come out and it warmed up so much, there weren't a drop of snow on the ground. So, the life of North Alabama. Near 80. Jerry, that's amazing. So I would have thought, now you live up north, right? I would have thought it would still been cold up there. I may be off on where I think you live, but I was thinking you lived up north somewhere. newbies and cutting across Kentucky. I've been across Kentucky a good bit. I got friends that live in Williamsburg and Elizabethtown. We go to Williamsburg, Kentucky some, doing mission work up there at a church we've been helping for several years. I drove one time from E-Town, Kentucky to Williamsburg. Boy, that was nice. A lot of nice mountain roads, and it was really nice. Me and my son drove across it. Love snow cream. We just don't get enough. We don't either. We do good here in North Alabama if we get enough to do it once a year. Gonna be 63 in South Carolina today. Back in the 70s the rest of the week. Man, I love 70-degree weather. I was mowing, 2 days ago? Maybe Monday? Today's Wednesday, so yeah, I think it was Monday evening. Yeah, it was Monday evening. And, man, it was nice and cool. I nearly had to put a jacket on. Anytime, I don't know if any of y'all churches are streaming, but if any of y'all's churches don't stream, ours streams, and you can find it always on my Facebook page. I don't share it here, no reason other than that wasn't what this page was about, but Facebook and my personal Facebook page, if any of y'all have it, and then our Daydream page. I try to share it on both. So, we do a Sunday morning Sunday school, Sunday morning service, and then we do a Wednesday night service. So, if any of y'all want to check in on that. Great, meant to be RVing. I try to post them on both, so just going to let everybody know that. I keep it posted on Facebook, I just don't post it here. Most people have me on Facebook, so I have thought about having it here, but for me to do that, I'd have to, I guess I could share them on my page. I don't know. Oh, almost midnight where you are, Lily Beth. Wow. It is, what time is it here, guys? I lost my clock. Because I can't use my phone, and it don't tell me. It's probably, in Alabama, it's about 10:30 in the morning. So about 10 hours difference. No, say midnight. If it's midnight, that'd be 14 hours difference, wouldn't it, guys? You're meant to be RVing. Your church streamed every day. Do you share that somewhere? I tell you what I did. Of course, you know, I like listening to people preach, and so I have a lot of preacher friends, pastor friends. So one Sunday, the first Sunday morning we did it, I watched our service and then went and watched a friend of mine's service. So I actually got to be in one Sunday school and 2 worship services. For typically, I'd only got to done one service and Sunday school, so got to see more and hear more. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's 10:44 in Alabama. So what's that, 13-hour difference, Uncle Lisa's Productions, if it's nearly midnight there? Jerry Holly is the man. The Trying to scroll back through here. Alright, see you burning up the road. Y'all stay safe and be careful out there. So, meant to be RV, did you catch, or any of y'all, did y'all see our trunk update video yesterday before we got rolling with the Light family? I'm going to be in trouble when I fill up that trunk, all the sides of it. I just thought that was better. I just sort of had a bad feeling about that channel. And that was starting to get on my nerves. How about y'all? I love people. But I had a bad feeling about that from the start. RV underway, go the lock spot. Yeah, did you like that? I just thought his decal sort of was fitting of a trunk. And for some reason, the moment I saw that, I thought it would go right there. I don't know. I just envisioned it being there. Yep, the kitchen remodels. Yep, I got a video of that on there. The sticker trunk update is on last night's live, and it's pretty early in the show if y'all missed it. We played one video of the Light family, and what happened was we had a time mess up. They're in California, and they screwed up what time. They knew they were supposed to be on last night, and they were coming. They just got mixed up on what time difference it was. So that's why they were running a little bit late. Fortunately, Trooper Duo had some more contact info on them, and she sent them a message, and so they hurried up and got in front of the computer and got everybody together. So thank you, Uncle Lisa Production. We may try to shoot more video of the final reveal today, maybe. I don't know. It'll take me a week to put all that together. I keep saying I'm going to try to have it out, but it's been crazy. I ain't had that much to do. It's just she keeps adding stuff she wants to do to it. Hang on, guys. I got to tilt that down just a tad. Yeah, maybe that's better. See, my hands are clean. Hey, if any of y'all went to Happy Place Diaries and seen their wallpaper remodel in their RV, that was awesome too. I think they're talking about your snoring dog meant to be RVing. Hey, Uncle Lisa Production or Trash Talk, I'm going to tell you, you might as well get ready. If she gets something on you, it's on. Or he, I don't know who I'm even talking to. You might have told me once, but I don't have a good memory. Jerry Holly, are the boss doing good today? So, I noticed, Jerry, you were all, good deal, Jerry. I noticed you were all dressed up the other day in, like, uniform. Was you already working, or was you just prepared from home? Because it looked like you were ready to go there. I think you said, if I understand right, I think you said that that fire was close to your house, that apartment fire. So I learned something new yesterday. Oh, I got you, Jerry. Looked like you come right out of your office at the fire department right on the job. But you were spiffy looking. You look real important. I'm just giving you a hard time. I appreciate what y'all do, too. I've done a little bit of that, but not much. I've done just enough to know that I'm not cut out to be a fireman. Which we worked, when I was volunteering, I was a paid medic. And I think I told y'all that before. We were paid, the medics was, but we were working for the county. But we were volunteering through the fire department. I know that don't really make sense, but we could, like for instance, if it was a car wreck, automobile wreck, we would actually dispatch out as medics. And then the firemen would have to do the fireman job. If it was a brush fire, we would dispatch out as firemen. But we was always there, but we might not would take an ambulance to a brush fire. Does that make sense? But if it was a house fire, we would dispatch out as medics, and so we'd have to take the ambulance. So anytime, anytime that we took the ambulance out, regardless of whether we treated anybody or we transported anybody, we got paid for while we were gone. It wasn't much, but that was something the ambulance service through our county, I guess, was required to do. But so if you get called out as a medic paid, and the fireman didn't. Now the fireman did get a supplement, like $1 or $2. It wasn't much, but then we always donated it all back to the fire department. So our local fire departments, most of our local fire departments are volunteer. Now the city I live in has several paid, but the majority of the firemen are volunteer. They do get paid per call, but it's like, I wouldn't even know what it is now, but it used to be like $7 or $8 for a brush fire and like $12 for a house fire. Something like that. It wasn't very much. And then we had a thing, when I was here in Rainsville, I belonged to 3 different ones at times, but when I was in this one at Rainsville, we would donate it was either the brush fire money or house fire money. All the firemen, we voted to donate all of that money back into the fire department. That's back when Rainsville Fire Department was pretty small, and that was in the early 90s. There weren't as much government money for that like they are now. Now they have brand new trucks up there, and they have first responder trucks. They have trucks for the chief to ride around in. We didn't have all that when I was in the fire department. We had old model Mayberry style trucks. That's what we had. And we worked out of the basement of the city hall. But we got her done. I got some newspaper clippings somewhere. If I can ever find them, I'll share them with you. Hearse 2, Jerry Hawley knows what I mean when I say Hearse 2. Y'all know it would be known as Jaws of Life, but Hearse Company, they may be different companies now, but back when I was in it, if you had a hearse tool, that's what you used to cut a car apart. Well, we were one of the first small fire departments around here, not many people had. They had a new compact one. Like I say, Jerry knows all about this, but we were one of the first ones to get one. Well, we had a big expo thing up here at one of the big parking lots, and we invited the public to come out and watch, and we done a mass wreck, like 2 or 3 cars. We done a wreck simulation where we went in and cut the cars apart to get the patients out. And the Hearst Tool Company and the local newspaper company featured me cutting a car apart. I had my picture made, and I was one of the firemen that was featured in cutting the top off a car. Pretty cool. But time to catch up here. Wow, all tools are battery operated. Back when we had Hearst tools, they were hydraulic powered and real heavy. Hey, Justin and Christina. We was talking fireman stuff. And also, Jerry Holly, when I was in now, like that was early 90s, so I quit the ambulance service. I want to think I quit the ambulance service maybe, let's see, 3. So 3 would have been 6. Maybe 97 or 98. But when I was in the fire department, you didn't have to be an intermediate or paramedic, or even an EMT. You just had to have all your first aid and basic stuff. Oh, first responder, that's what I was trying to say. But you didn't have to be a medic. I don't know if they've changed that now or not, but where our county's set up now, we have an ambulance station nearly in about every one of the bigger cities. But like Fort Payne Fire is one of the biggest cities in our county. Well, it is the biggest city in our county, and they have a lot of medics. I don't know if all of them are medics, but we used to, when I was stationed out of Fort Payne, we'd run calls, and Fort Payne Fire run a first responder team. So if we had a cardiac call, we were dispatched to. We also had Fort Payne Fire. If we run anything inside the city limit or their jurisdiction, if it was the border or around the border of Fort Payne, they would respond. And so if we had a code or something, we always had plenty of help. And I liked that. But we were always, if it was a medical call, we was top priority. But if it was a wreck, or y'all know how it works. Fort Payne Fire was top priority, and they'd hand off the patient to us. But we had a great relationship, and I always liked that. All of our fire departments. So, done pretty good. I enjoyed that. I want to tell you something real crazy, though. I volunteered as a medic before I ever worked for the ambulance service. In other words, I didn't get paid. I done it through different fire departments, and I enjoyed the fire out of that. But when I started getting paid, I didn't enjoy it. I don't know. And I'm not saying that to bring anything on me. It just took all the enjoyment out of it. Something about putting on that white uniform and that gold badge. Medics here had gold badges, and we wore white. That signified we were medics. And they changed them one time when we had different color shirts, but we always had a DAS gold badge. But something about putting that uniform on as a paid medic just took away all that. So, Jerry, all battery operated tools. That sounds cool. I'm sure they're a lot more advanced. Back then, you barely could pick one of them things up. They're probably a lot lighter now than it was then. I remember, because I'm a short guy. I've been 5'3" for 40 years. I hadn't grown an inch. But, and back then, when I was in the fire department, I was a little guy. I probably was 130 pounds soaking wet. And, but it was tough getting them things up. And you had the generators that pumped the hydraulic fluid. All that had to work. Man, I'm glad y'all went to batteries. Yeah, Justin and Christina, you're maybe right. And I tell you something else. I could see the difference, and Jerry might can relate, because Jerry might have volunteered before he was ever full time. But I could leave my Thanksgiving dinner or whatever to go on call to somebody maybe that lived in our area to help the ambulance service. They would dispatch out medics that were close, right? So I could leave my Thanksgiving dinner or whatever that was real important in my life. I could go and work maybe a code or something. The moment I walked in, I'd be greeted with warmth, and a lot of times it was people you knowed and hugged and come in and do what I could do without any equipment. I had a bag, but you still didn't have everything. But the moment you walk in a white shirt and a gold badge and a $100,000 truck, whatever them things cost, and all that equipment, you were treated more as a employee. I don't know. I just didn't like how we were treated once we put on that shirt. Now, I'm not saying everybody treated us like that, but the attitude sometimes from some people changed. I don't know. It may have been me. I may have been the only one that felt that way, but the only thing, when I started getting paid, I didn't have to do it. I owned my own business. I done it. Well, I guess I did. I done it for the insurance, but I left it. That's how bad I didn't like it. I left it, man, and just went to be fully self-employed. I left a good retirement. Not a bad pay. I worked 2 days a week. I worked 24 16s. I worked a 16 and 24, and then we would swap them out with each other so we could work 2 days. We'd work back to back, be off 5 days. And wow, 1.4 million on a truck. That's a big old truck, though. Is that a ladder truck, Jerry? Or is that just a regular fire truck or an ambulance? Do y'all run ambulances out of y'all's fire department, Jerry? Ladder truck. I thought it might be. They got a new ladder truck up here. They got a grant for it up here. Bought one 2 or 3 years ago. That'll last them a long time. We don't have many buildings over 2 stories here in our area. But the other day, I seen a real good use for a ladder truck on Jerry's video. Matter of fact, I never got to work with a ladder truck, but I thought it was cool that y'all ladder truck was sitting in the parking lot, and y'all had it extended to that first level, not the ground floor, but the first, so they could just hop on the truck and run right up through there. That was pretty cool. I don't know that I'd ever seen that. Y'all run just EMTs. So y'all just run a first responder truck, and y'all have ambulance service separate from the fire department? I wouldn't want to work now either for the ambulance. So they went to the vans that are close in. Justin and Christina. So the fire shows up in regular fire truck as first responders. In most of our little communities, the fire department will beat the ambulance service there. In our major cities, like all of our cities in our county are small in comparison to what you guys probably have, but we have 2 red lights in our city. Fort Payne has the most. I mean, Fort Payne's the biggest. They have the Walmart, county courthouse. Yeah. Hey, Blue Wave Odyssey. Thanks for coming by. We're talking fire trucks and ambulances right now with Jerry Holly. Our ambulance service is county owned, and they're starting to build some new big nice ambulance stations in different parts of our county. But we still have a lot of communities that are only served by volunteer fire departments. So it's still, we're still a long ways. And that works. Like, for instance, in Rainsville, we have an ambulance service and we have a really good fire department. Not Fort Payne big, but it has all the equipment a fire department needs. Alright, so then we have a couple communities that surround us. Well, those communities are no further out than if you drove from the north end of Fort Payne to the south end of Fort Payne. They're closer to us than that. So really, our city helps a lot of little communities in our area. So it really wouldn't even be feasible to open up ambulance services in all of those areas. Or it wouldn't be feasible to open big fire departments up in all those areas. So good deal, Roy and Becky. When I was in the fire department, I graduated high school in 86. In 87, I joined the fire department here in Rainsville. And we had a rescue squad at the time because we didn't have an ambulance. When I was in the fire department in 1987, we had one ambulance station in the whole county that was county owned. We had rescue squads in about every city, and on the north end, a little town called Ida, Alabama, they don't even have a red light, it's crossing. They had an ambulance service. They ran out of their rescue squad that was bigger than our county-owned ambulance service. So now it's about withered away because they put a county ambulance service up there now. It just got to where you couldn't get volunteers that would go to school and get their license. But anyway, I think the building's still up at Ida. I think it had like 6 bays. It was bigger than our county-run ambulance service. So we had some great rescue squads, and still do. There's still a few rescue squads around, but they're drying up. The fire departments now are cross-trained. Like Jerry said, they're medics and they're firemen. And a lot of the fire trucks in our area carry everything you need except for a bed. Basically, the ambulance services now, when they roll in, they transfer the patient to a bed and put them in the back of the ambulance. The only difference in that is some of the rescue squads and fire departments don't have medics. So, but that's very few. Any of your bigger cities has medics and all. So, let's see here. Trying to catch up here. I missed something here. I'm trying to... Yep. That was so funny last night. Blue Wave says, I am yelling. I'm not in AutoCAD. That was so funny. None of us we only have one hospital in our county, and it don't have its own ambulance service. If I don't know that any of them within an hour or 2 hour radius has their own ambulance service. They have private ambulances or county-owned ambulance services that run out of the hospital. So, funny story, me and Tammy was dating, and I was in the fire department, and she had bought me a brand new pair of boots for Christmas. And I was decked out fixing to go see Tammy on a date, and an older lady ran off a culvert into a creek. And it was bad. Anyway, the witnesses there was telling about how bad it was, and everybody was gone. See, it was like a Saturday or Saturday evening. And anyway, and so I took off over there and crawled down in the creek, and we helped her. I can't remember if she survived or not. It was a pretty bad wreck, and she was an older lady. At the time, I felt like she was older. But anyway, but I got them boots out and washed them real good, and I had them for a long time. I don't even know if I still got them in the closet, but they survived. But I was really worried Tammy was going to hang me. Roy and Becky's travels. I ran for public office one time 4 years ago here in our city. Run against a long-time incumbent and lost. If I had got 35 more votes, I would have won. And that's how. And I didn't get into the race till the last minute. We had somebody we thought was going to run against this incumbent back out at the last minute. So I had a whole slew of people come in and ask me to run, and I run in less than 30 days and nearly beat him. Nearly beat him. But that's probably the end of my political career. I just bring out the worst in people. That's weird. Y'all have a township board and a city council. That's weird. We have a city council and a mayor, and they rule. We have a DeKalb County Commission, which would be above them. You won that township board vote good, didn't you? I have a friend in Williamsburg, Kentucky. He's a pastor of a church. We do mission work. And they were having Board of Education elections. And several people had wanted him to run, and he'd never really thought about holding political office. And so there were several people thinking about running, right? And so he just didn't know if he wanted to do that. He knew what politics done, and he didn't know if it'd be good for the church. Anyway, he decided to run. He put his name in the hat, and everybody else that was going to run backed out. He ran unopposed. He is a good guy, though. Alright, get back to work, Blue Wave. Make that money. I'm glad you had a good time last night, too. I'm glad all y'all did. We had a good time. We had about 10 or 12 there for an hour and a half, and I mean, we were having a good time. I was. I don't know if everybody else was. I believe we could have stayed another 30 minutes. But they were having a good time. If y'all left out early, the Light family sung a cappella for us live, and that was really cool. Their sound got to where you could hear their sound pretty good. Their video kept cutting out, but you could hear their sound. New Vision Security, I agree. I've never lived in a subdivision with a HOA, but all I've ever heard is nightmares. So y'all district council, Justin, must be like our county commission. So we have a county commission that governs everything county. They don't even override city. I guess there's certain circumstances. Oh, wow, Jerry Holly. I'm surprised you got any hair left. So, with that being said, how are y'all funded, Jerry? Because here our city funds our fire department, and then we get grants from the federal government. I think from the Forestry Commission. And also, we get TVA money. I don't know exactly what all that TVA money goes to. They've changed. If y'all don't know what I mean by TVA money, TVA has to pay taxes. The electric company, they have to pay taxes to every municipality that they have a service in. I don't really understand all of how that works, but it got a bunch of confusion several years ago, and so they come up with ways that money had to be spent. It used to be different people decided, but anyway, so doesn't have a city council though. Our county. So Jerry, I bet y'all have a nightmare when it comes to needing something. Do y'all have I guess y'all have some kind of board. I know some of our fire departments that don't have a city jurisdiction, they create a, like, where I was raised is called Blake. All it is an area, the Blake community. Well, they started a fire department. Alright, so that fire department has a board of directors. So I got friends that's on that board, but so that's how they're governed. That's how they get money through the Forestry Commission and all that is through that board. Thomas Farm Okie, welcome. I must have missed you come in the door. Yeah, county funds you reluctantly, yeah. You know it's crazy. I guess I'm getting on to politics a little bit. But it's crazy that in our state, of course, football rules in our state. And we have real nice football stadiums all over our county, at all of our school system. But yet, like our marching band program, like at our high school up here, used to, I don't know if they still do, used to have to practice on an asphalt parking lot in the middle of the summer when they have band camp. And yet, that particular school has a football stadium field, and they also have a football practice field, grass field. But yet the band had to practice on asphalt. I don't like that. I've never been a fan of that. And I guess that's why I don't get elected, because I tell my opinion too much. Because if I was on the school board, that would change. A 3-person fire board. Oh, I bet that's interesting. At least it ain't like 10 or 12-person fire board. Is that 3-person fire board, is that elected? Yeah, I got friends that live in Kentucky. Everything in Kentucky's basketball. Everything in Alabama's football. I mean, we have basketball teams and all that. And actually, our school, they didn't win it this year, but the 2 prior years won the state basketball championship. But here it's all about football. The school right down the road from us has won the 2A state title, I think 3 years in a row in football. And then they're going to move up to 3A this year. And then the school I went to played for the state title numerous years, never won it, but played for it numerous years. A 59 International brush truck. That's about what we used when I was in the fire department in the late 80s. Appointed by the county commissioners. I don't know if that's good or bad. I've never liked appointed positions. I was asked to be on a board one time, and I'm not going to serve on a board under a council that I don't agree with. What good would I be? You never know what we're going to talk about here. I'm actually good friends with the fire chief here in our city. Roy and Becky, that's bad. That's very bad. We got like a ladder truck here in Rainsville, Alabama. I would say the ladder, I don't know. Now, I don't run calls anymore. But we probably don't have 100 three-story buildings in our city. So, I mean, it'd be good for those. But it ain't like you live in a city like Fort Payne that might have 1,000 3- and 4-story buildings. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it's great for a 2-story building. I don't know. I guess I wasn't in it to use one, so I really don't know how they use them. But they probably got millions of dollars sitting up here at Rainsville in equipment. And I'm glad. I mean, if you only need it one time. Oh, wow. Police chief just got investigated for corruption. That's bad. Jerry Holly, that don't surprise me, and that y'all get to pick who sits on that board. I got a friend. We have electric co-ops in our area. So in other words, TVA creates the power and they sell it to co-ops, right? I don't know how it's done in y'all state, but that's how it's done in our state. So each co-op has a board of directors. Well, a friend of mine sits on the board of directors. It's an elected position by the people that are served by that co-op, right? So everybody that has power through that co-op is a member. Well, the members vote on the board of directors. Well, a friend of mine had a friend that was on that board. Well, he kept it so long that he retired off of it. When he retired, he sort of handpicked who he wanted to take that over, which is my friend. Well, how that board is done is when you're coming up for re-election, you have to pick somebody that nominates you. Like, you go out and you say, all right, I want, like, so-and-so, hey, I want you to nominate me for this board. By being on the nominate committee, we feed you one night. We carry you and your wife to Ruby Tuesday somewhere. Well, the person that is picked to nominate that person, if something happens to that person on the board before they are re-elected, the person that nominates them fills that position until the time's up. Well, my friend's brother-in-law had always been the one my friend picked to nominate him. Well, he was going to be out of town on a big job and he couldn't be here. So he asked me if I'd nominate him. So it's weird. You have to be nominated to be up for re-election. Anybody can run, but you have to be nominated. Somebody has to nominate you. So anyway, that's funny. It's sort of like the board's going to stay the same way, run by hand-picked people from now on, as long as the people that vote don't pick just a big duck and change it. So a lot of times they run unopposed. And I love our electric co-op. We have one of the best electric co-op I know of anywhere. I got a brother-in-law who works for another electric co-op, and They run junk trucks, and their all-time trucks are in the shop. And over here, our electric co-op, nearly straight across from where me and Tammy live. And they have new trucks all the time. They're one of the highest paid employers in our county. They pay the employees good. They keep their place manicured. It's a big, nice, beautiful facility. And if the power ever goes out, you can bet that it won't be long, it'll be back on. People always hate fire departments, Roy and Becky, till they need one. Ain't that something? That's like ambulances. And you ever notice, and I was talking about this a little earlier, Jerry and Roy and all you fire guys, you ever notice that people don't have a problem paying police officers more and providing, and I love police officers. This is no slant to police officers, right? They have no problem wanting to pay police officers the top pay that they can afford to pay them. I always want them to have new cars. I always want them to have bulletproof vests. I'm the first one in line. I do. But when it comes to firemen and medics, a big part of the population thinks that they should be volunteering, and they think they're less of a priority. Do y'all get that in y'all's area? It's like pulling teeth to get money to get a new spray nozzle or a new hose, or they don't understand that hoses, are used to dry rot and get old and you have to replace them. They think if they hold water, so what if they leak? People, if you don't do it, you don't know. They don't understand what it costs to pay for an AED or anything like that. So y'all got 2 new trucks last year. That's a good deal. Way to stand in there and fight, hold your ground. I don't know exactly how it works. So that build a big hub in our district. Started building large warehouse. Now we have 14 million square foot of warehouses, and the money just started. I missed something, Jerry. The tax money? Are you talking about the railroad company come in, now the tax money's coming in? I might have missed something there. Oh my Lord. Custom built to fit in the building. That cost money. Oh, I got you. We had, in Fort Payne, Fort Payne used to be the sock capital of the world. We made more socks in Fort Payne than anywhere in the world per mile, I guess. Anyway, one of the big sock mills built the Taj Mahal sock mill, fully automated and all. He's a good friend of mine. He built it on the north end of town, on the property he had. Well, y'all know what the insurance would be on that. If you're so far away from a fire department, it'd be ridiculous. So he went in to the city and said, look, I'll pay for a new fire hall I'll give you the land, and I want it built right across the road from my plant, and I'll pay for it. And he did, and he got him a fire department. So we have a weather radio. Let me go turn this weather radio off. On Wednesdays, they test our weather systems. I know y'all didn't want to hear all that. Yeah. Justin, they got into some of that. Uh, they got into some of that pet ordinances here, and I found out about it. They were going to make all the pet owners buy a permit. Well, a friend of mine just happened to be on that board. He sent me a message about it, about what one of the council members were going to do, and so we I made a Facebook post about what they were going to present tomorrow at the city council meeting. And her phone, the city council lady that was trying to push for it, her phone blew up. She called me immediately and said, "Oh, she wasn't going to do it." Well, one of my best friends was on the board in that meeting, and he sent me a copy of what they were going to present. Anyway, and I picked because I knew what a dollar permit would come to in 10 years from now, and I didn't want it. I thought it was unfair, and I didn't want it. And so anyway, she didn't get reelected. And then she ran for a county office and got beat bad. But yeah, it didn't go over well here. Alright, see, Jerry Holly, it's a fun chat. Thanks for coming by. I love talking that. But we do have people pushing for certain animals to be banned. What they've started doing in this area is they've said if you have an outside animal, and they've not started here in Rainville yet. I feel like it's coming. They just done it in Gadsden, which is about 30 miles from here. They said, well, in the state of Alabama, for one, now holds the owner criminally responsible if your animal harms somebody. Something they done here a while back. I've never read it. That's just what some of our legislators said they've done. I'm not ever went and read it, but basically in a nutshell, you're criminally responsible if they felt like you were neglect. So now what some of the other cities are doing, they're stepping up and saying, okay, you can't have a dog tied to anything. It has to be in a fenced-in area, and it has to be so that that animal cannot escape, whatever that is. So you can't have a 3-foot fence, you know what I'm saying? A real short fence just to get around that law. And you can't have a dog pen. It has to be a fenced-in area that is suitable for that animal to run around in. I have always felt that it was not fair. The only dog I've ever been bit by was a little bitty dog. And it was at my friend's house. I just walked up too fast. I knew better than that because I have dogs. My dogs, they would run. But anyway, I've always felt that it was unfair. Even though there's some dogs I don't personally want. I've got friends that have some different kind of dogs that I wouldn't personally have. But what they're going to do is, well, it's got so bad around here with the laws and stuff that they're pushing people getting rid of different types of dogs because it's so hard to keep them. But I've always thought that if my dog harms you in any way, that should be treated as though I harmed you in that same way as the owner. Now, how you figure out whose dog belongs to who, I don't know. So, but that's my feeling about it. If I know that Justin, or say, if I got a dog that, for instance, runs out of my house and attacks somebody. We've had some runners attack, and we've had one nearly killed people that run the sidewalks and stuff here. A dog come after and nearly killed one of the runners. And to me, that person that owned that dog actually had already had some reports, and they knew who the owner was. So that owner should have been put in jail just like if he attacked that person. That's the way I feel about it. We're required to microchip our dogs. I wouldn't be against having some kind of identification for animals, and if it didn't have an identification, then they could pick it up. But I wouldn't want it to be city initiated or county initiated. I'd want it to be something that you could do private, like private vet or something. Anytime a government gets involved in anything, it gets way out of hand. I get worried about microchipping anything because I know where that's going to go to. Yeah, they tried that here. It didn't work. Registering the dogs with the city. I guess that, I don't say that that's a bad thing, but what that's going to involve is a dollar permit now, and in 20 years from now, that'll be a $100 permit. You see what I'm saying? The way the government works, and that's why I don't want it. I would be okay with some kind it had to have, like, in other words, a leash. Like our dogs, which we don't never let our dogs out of the house unless they're on a leash and we're going somewhere. Our dogs stay in the house all the time. They don't want to go outside. But our dogs has, not only does it have a tag of who he is and who he belongs to, it has a tag that it's had all of its shots. But I am all for, if a dog don't have a tag, picking it up. And if they want to claim it, put a tag on it. Or if they claim it and it don't have a tag, fine them. See, $20, that's just crazy. Is that per year or is that just lifetime? And still, that's ridiculous for a piece of paper. Per year, I'd go insane. That might cause me to run for office again. Yep. That's ridiculous. That's just a tax gimmick right there now. Anyway, I'm going to have to get off that, make my blood pressure go up. So, we've started the clock on Christina having that baby. I know she's ready. We're all ready to see that baby, too. Making sure I hadn't missed nobody here. I'm alright fining people if a dog is marked and it's out of hand, but $450, that's a little outrageous. Oh, good deal. I bet she's ready to have that thing. That little sweetheart. See, y'all having a boy, though, I think, right? Alright, I thought that's what I heard. Yeah. That's going to be amazing. Well, I'll have to get new stickers with the whole family on it. I don't know why. I don't know if you was on my live stream last night. I skipped right over your sticker and didn't say. But I did put the tag in there. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I done that. I noticed that after I had uploaded, or was fixing to upload it, and Tammy was busy and I knew I didn't have time to shoot another video, so I just added the tag. I think our area is just going to get stricter on how you can have an animal and how you take care of it. I think Justin's thinking about having a lot more kids, so he's afraid to update the sticker, afraid he'll have to do it every so often. Yeah, I think in our area they're just going to impose. We had some people that had chickens in our city that they had eggs and stuff, for eggs and stuff, and they classed it as a farm animal, and they made them get rid of their chickens. I mean, 2 or 3 chickens. I mean, who gripes about that, right? But somebody griped about it, I'm sure, and that's probably what got it done. Several years ago, we had some people on the other side of town. They had chicken houses, and they were going to add more chicken houses. Well, the city gave them a permit. They started getting ready to build. A bunch of people spit about it, and they come back and said they, in error, issued a permit. And I had to sue over that. At least got my money back for what I spent. But Roy and Becky, y'all are having the same chicken fight. Well, good luck. I don't mind having some. The problem with government getting involved is government is involved. That's the problem. But we do have people in our county that has dogs that are bad. Because I used to run a lot. My wife still runs a lot. And I know I can tell you where they're at. And now our police chief, I don't know what the laws are, but now we can text. If we're out running, we can text the police, and they'll investigate it and mark it down as a complaint. And I don't know what it is they can do, but they tell us to tell them because they can mark it as a complaint. I guess if it attacks somebody, they can hold the owner responsible. Yeah, I'm a little torn on the chicken issue. I had chickens here for a while. I didn't like them. I had 3 or 4 just for eggs. We like fresh eggs, and but it I can see where people wouldn't like it. Uh, yeah, I can see where farm animals is going to be a thing that'll go away, and I think that's what they passed here in our city. But it's also another reason why people started building houses outside the city of Rainsville. That's one reason. Rainsville boomed. Back when I used to build and sell spec houses, we were booming. Everybody wanted to live in Rainsville. Why? Because Fort Payne had so many rules. Now people don't want to live in Rainsville. They want to live outside of Rainsville. So me and Tammy just sold a bunch of land on the outside of Rainsville. Sold it to my dad, but I started to develop it because it was the Rainsville city limits was across the road. And so we could have built and sold houses there, but I just didn't want to get back into it. I don't understand pet pigs anyway. But, oh well. Most people that have pet pigs keep them in the house. Not me. Alright, guys. I think we about hashed everything to death this morning. I think I'm going to hop off here and see what I can get done, if anything. Probably nothing. I probably need to catch up on my comments and all that kind of good stuff. I understand big farm animals, but chicken, they're a dog bigger. Yeah, I see. I see where the biggest problem would be in the smell of chickens, but I don't know. I can see both arguments. I sure can. Alright, guys. Y'all have a good one. See y'all. Thanks for coming by. We'll try to do this again, like I say, every day till we go back. That way it'd be a good way for us to all just chat and forget about what's going on. So love you guys. Catch y'all later.